What's going on? We're back with episode 18. We're going to be talking about little things you're doing that are turning your clients into super needy customers. Wherever you're watching this, drop a hello, drop an emoji. Would love to say hi to you. If you, Cold Brew Gang, if you had your coffee already, drop some fire emojis in. You know how we do it. In about 90 seconds, we're going to get started with a formal recording of today's episode of Client by Client. You can catch all episodes up to, I think, episode 8. Let me check my spreadsheet. Today is the 27th, and so you'll get all the way up to episode 9. They're polished, they're a bit more pretty, they're audio only, and if you ever miss anything in the recording, you just have direct access to it. So check that out. Help me help the algorithm so that this can reach more people. Follow, subscribe, download, leave a review if you're getting value. Leave your honest thoughts, and we'd love to shout you out in a future episode. I've learned a lot in this process, and I'm excited. For GetClient students, I'm excited to be sharing the tools, how I'm doing this, my process, the mindset over the coming weeks and months, and even some of the AI that I'm using while producing this show. So my GetClient students, be ready for that, and tune and fire up your questions and get your questions ready so I can answer them as it comes time, and I can share with you guys all the magic and how this whole show has come together and how you can, and the benefits of doing this in your own business as well. All right, that said, the salutations out of the way, let's get in and let's bring this to life. Hey, what's going on? Jeremy here from whatupjeremy.com, back with another episode of Client by Client. Thank you so much for listening. In today's episode, what we're going to be talking about is the little things you're doing in your processes that are turning your coaching clients into needy clients and into people that you kind of got to handhold or babysit. In the last episode of Client by Client, I shared with you the right way to follow up so that you don't ever follow up the wrong way again. This has the ability to right now save a potential client from going somewhere else and can turn your pipeline into brand new hidden clients if you just get these aspects right. So backtrack one episode to yesterday. That way you can see if you're following up the wrong way, if it's costing you leads and clients, and what to do instead, including the messages that I use and send to redeem myself, to not need to follow up, and then how to follow up without looking weird, needy, or like all of the other coaches that are just checking in or just circling back. So be sure to head back one episode. That way you can get your follow-up game fine-tuned and turn more leads into more clients. In today's episode, what we're going to be talking about is how you might be the person that's making your clients very dependent upon you and what to do instead. If you don't get today's episode right, the first thing that happens is that you are going to start dreading new clients signing up. And this will inch in client by client until it's, no pun intended, until it's just a part of what you do. It's a part of who you are. It's a part of the business that you're running, and it becomes the expectation to your clients and to others. And so what this looks like is you get a brand new prospect, you turn them into a client, you close them, and the second you get the money, you already know that it wasn't worth it. You already start to know that this small amount that you got, which could be 1,000 to 10,000, it's not going to be enough to make up for the time and the expectations that you are now going to need to commit and that you've set with the potential client or with a new client that you signed up. So the first thing that happens is that you start to dread new clients signing up. And if you've ever had a prospect that was really hard to close, had a million questions, needed to see proof, needed to talk to previous clients, needed to see what it looked like, needed to see the inside, needed to know the guarantee, needed to know if there was a discount, needed to do all of that, and then you sign them up and and it hits you in that moment that like you were in the chase and in the excitement and the rush of getting a new client, but now reality starts to set in that like, oh man, what's this person gonna be like to work with? What's this person gonna be like with my other clients? What's this gonna do to the culture of my program. The first thing that happens is that you start to dread when new clients sign up. The second thing that happens, and number one really starts to lead to this, is that you start to resent your business. You start thinking, I'm in the wrong business. You start thinking, am I really cut out for this coaching thing? You start thinking that you don't like sales, and you miss out on or start missing out on opportunities to actually serve your market, to serve your prospects, to deliver on your God-given purpose and your soul-inspired mission and purpose. And so thing number one that happens is that you start to dread new clients when they sign up, and then that leads to you resenting your online business, you second guessing yourself, you doubting, and when that happens, everything just starts to crumble in front of you, and everything you start to touch just starts to turn into a mess. So let's talk about what to do instead. The very first thing you need to do, if you are either noticing yourself attracting in very needy clients, or if you want to prevent yourself from creating and attracting in needy clients, the first thing you have to do is you have to stop promising the world. There's this notion that you have to promise your clients this picture perfect end result, and that's setting the wrong expectations with your clients, because while you might be able to do that for some, there is going to be a percentage of people that you aren't either able to deliver that experience to, or they are unable to get to having that experience in their own accord in your program. And so you have to stop promising the world. And what this looks like is, for instance, I help people my coaching is all about getting clients, but what my coaching really is about having more options and more freedom in life. The vessel that we're using is coaching to do that. So I don't sell coaching, I sell freedom. I sell more energy. I sell being able to experience the world on your own terms. I sell you being able to spend more time with your kids at home. I sell you being in charge of your time, in charge of your location, and in charge of what you're focusing on. And so I'm giving you these examples because in my industry, it's very common that you'll see coaches, and I've been guilty of this in the past as well. 5-6 years ago, was making really big promises, and I found out that one, they don't work because no one believes you, and two, you start to look like all the other people in your space. So for instance, to actually get to my example, there's a lot of coaches promising 6 and 7 figures, and they're promising this, but you've never heard of them before. You've never seen their stuff. You've never seen their YouTube channel. You've never seen your favorite coaches or influencers interviewing them or hanging out with them. And so all of a sudden you just have like another person promising you the world and promising you all these riches. If you, like for instance, I use a lot of examples on this show to give you guys a variety of examples of like getting your body back before you had kids, if you're helping single moms, or about getting 6-pack abs, or about helping people to, what's another example? I'm in a program called Knees Over Toes that's helping me to rehabilitate my knees. And it's a very good program, and you should totally check it out. And if not, just check out his free stuff. But I say all that to say that better than promising the world of you're going to have your high school body back, better than promising the 6-pack abs, which very few people are capable of just doing. And there's a lot of things involved in that you're going to be up against, like genetics for some people, bad habits, all these other things, or the 6 and 7 figures examples. Instead of promising this very polished, very almost questionable end result, is to break it down into something far smaller. I'm going to talk about how to do that and how I do it here in a second, but it's important that I drive this home because basically your whole entire market, each person in that market, they are experiencing pains and problems. They have current frustrations in regards to what they're wanting in their life or in their business. And if they don't do anything about those frustrations, those turn into long-term fears, and those fears breed in that self-doubt, breed in their inability to actually take action. And if you can imagine, they're on an edge of the cliff and they're looking at the other side of this cliff, and between them is like the Grand Canyon. It's this chasm, it's this big gap. And on the other side of this gap, this canyon, this chasm, is the promised land. It's where everything they're wanting in the world already exists. So if right now they're in their day job, on the other side of the chasm might be the 6 or 7 figures. If they are a single mom who's recently divorced and has an extra 40 pounds from the last 2 kids, on the other side of that promised land is like them having their high school body back or their high school metabolism. But there are many steps in between to get them there. So on their side of the canyon, of the chasm, where they currently are at, they have pains and problems. Those are current frustrations and current fears. If they don't know anything about the frustrations, they turn into fears. And there's a gap in between them. And on the other side of this cliff, on the other side of this chasm, is their immediate wants, like what they're wanting right now in a realistic world. And then there are their aspirations. What happens after they get the wants? What happens when they stick with this long term? What happens when they start to get closer to their goal and their initial goal and beyond it? What lies in that promised land? And the issue is that the promised land, those promises, for a lot of people sound unrealistic. If you're stuck in your job right now, you might have a hard time picturing what it's like to have a 10K month or a 6 or 7 figure year in your own business. If you are 40 pounds overweight as a single mom and struggling in every direction to lose any of that weight, you thinking about having your high school body back, it just seems like a pipe dream. It just seems like something that is unattainable. So when they come across your marketing and you're promising these big future, very pretty polished up promises, there's going to be a level of them thinking that you're full of shit and that you're BSing them and that you're some sort of scam artist. You're some sort of get rich quick. You're some sort of this is the end all be all diet hack or yo-yo dieting type person. And I want to help you prevent this from happening, because you will not know if this is happening. No one is going to come and tell you that you are promising too much. You will just have to learn through a lot of hardship that you're promising too much and make your promises smaller. I say all of that to say this. Instead of me promising 6 or 7 figures, which is along the path, and if you stick with this, I'm going to get you there. But what I do to make my promise more realistic is I just promise 3 to 5 clients in the next 90 days. For a lot of you guys, in the next 60 or 30 days. For many of you guys, doubling your client roster, if you already have the 3 to 5, if you're getting more than 3 to 5 a month, turning that into 3 to 5 a week. So I take this big 6 or 7 figures, which it will be if we get you to 3 to 5 clients a week, and I turn it into, let's just get you 3 to 5 clients ASAP. And then let's get you 3 to 5 clients a month, and then let's get you 3 to 5 clients a week. For the single mom with the extra 40 pounds of body weight, you might talk about the first 5 pounds. And all your promises, the first 5 pounds, even though you have strategies, frameworks, exercises, diet plans, nutrition plans, routines, mindsets, and meditations to help them lose that additional 35 in your coaching program, I want you to lead with that first 5, because that's believable, that's bite-sized, and that's not promising the world, that's promising something realistic. The first thing you have to do, stop promising the world. The second thing that you need to do is you need to create boundaries and you need to create expectations. Whenever you set a new client up, they're gonna have questions. Whenever you have someone that's paying you $1,000, $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 for online coaching, they're gonna have high expectations. So it's important that you set boundaries up front and that you set the expectations for how things look. And I think this is an opportunity when you set these boundaries and expectations to actually go above and beyond. For instance, I do my best to get back to my Get Clients students within 24 hours, but I promise them 48 hours. It's like, hey, I'm gonna answer your question within 48 hours, but my goal is to get it under 24. That way I can go above and beyond, right? That's a little bit of under-promising and over-delivering. Another way that you can do this is by setting the expectation of what their communication is going to look like with you and how many times they can expect that. So if you're promising unlimited one-on-one coaching, well, that's them free to go and book every single day, right? Unless you set the expectation, well, yeah, it's one-on-one, but you had to have posted in the group, already sent me a DM, gone through this form, and then we actually get on a call. And that's also just a good process to do. For some of you guys are like, that's way too much for one-on-one. Well, there's a certain point where your coach's time or your time becomes worth way more than helping an individual client at any given time, and you want to help one-to-many. You want your one bit of knowledge and expertise to help everybody in the group. And oftentimes, if you have unlimited coaching, it's an easy thing to abuse, because a lot of people signing up for coaching will value the one-on-one coaching as the most valuable thing. We've talked about this already. Whereas when you interview clients exiting your program or those who have resubscribed or those that are still in it, Oftentimes, the things that they got the most out of were the community and other people in the program, maybe the curriculum, and then maybe far last, the actual coaching. And they're going to value it. They're not going to try to hurt your feelings and say the coaching was the least valuable. They're going to say, I love this. I love your coaching, coach. But what I really found myself getting value from was these other things in the program. So you have to create boundaries and expectations. One of the ways that you can do this is with like office hours or open hours. So like a business, how you have to turn on the open sign and open the door and let people know that you're open. You also need to let them know when you're closed, and you need to let your clients know when you're unavailable so that, one, you're not around the clock answering clients' questions and not having a personal life, but so that they know that when they send you a message that it's going to be the next business day, or that you get back to them during 8 to 5 p.m., but after that is going to take the next day, and they can just have the expectation set. So thing number 2 that you must do to stop turning your clients from being super needy, customers that you dread working with and bringing in and enrolling in your business is you have to create boundaries and expectations. And like what I'm trying to say, guys, here is you have to have a spine. If you're a people pleaser and always bending over backwards, you'll be taken advantage of. I'm not this person, but it kills me to see these sort of people get taken advantage of, because the people pleasers, at the end of the day, you have the biggest hearts. In fact, you might be an online coach because of your skills with other people and your acts of service and your elevated acts of service and just how you are, and because you really care, and that's what makes you a really good coach. But that can be overused. Anything, right? That's a skill can be overused or underused. And when you overuse it, you end up creating people who demand a lot out of you and begin to expect that after you did this one small exception for them, like you answered a question at 8 p.m., that now for forever, you are going to be held accountable for doing that. And although people don't think like this consciously, they think like this subconsciously, and they act like this in the real world. When a mirror is presented and the right conversation is had, they'll often say like, okay, I'm getting a bargain here on this coaching, and because they're getting a lot of value out of it, and they're probably being a little bit demanding, and no one wants to actually be that person unless they feel like they were overpromised and oversold and they're getting way less. Back to point number 1. So the second thing you need to do, you need to create boundaries, and you need to set expectations with what your clients will be experiencing. And you need to do this before the sales process, during the sales process, and after, once they become a client, and pretty consistently to remind all of your clients together. Maybe we can do an episode down the road about how you do this once you're running a program and once your program is filled with clients. So if that's of value, you can send me a DM on Instagram, and maybe we'll do that here in the future. Thing number 3, help once, serve all. So as your program grows and as you sign up client by client, pun intended, what's going to end up happening is that you're going to get new questions from clients, and you're going to get some frequently asked questions. And so what I would always recommend is to find a way to deliver this information and have it front and center for everyone. And so let's say you're just getting your first clients in, think through what their questions might be, and when they sign up for your program or when they're in the sales process, make sure that hey, these are some frequently asked questions. If you have any other ones, be sure to let me know. Like, solicit those questions. And whenever you get a new question and you're going to take time to answer it for everyone. This is a small example of the bigger point I'm going to be getting to. What I'm trying to say is, if you get a question from a prospect or a client, create a little system that allows for you to deliver that answer to everybody else. So create a frequently asked questions document for students once they're in your program. Create frequently asked questions about the program with people in your sales process, and then create some frequently asked questions, like a document for before the sales process, for what your prospects can expect when they're on a sales call or interacting with you beforehand, and thinking about taking that risk and actually doing a call with you or sending you a DM. And when you do this, you can start to lead with these questions in your marketing to your group, your email list, your social media. This is going to indoctrinate your audience and turn them from cold to warmer faster. You can drip this into your Facebook group, into your client group, and you can have this as a guide in your client group so that when new clients join, there's a frequently asked questions bank. They go to it, they can find their answer, and maybe you actually have a video or supportive documents or curriculum that you can point to that gets them the answer that they're wanting. What I'm really trying to get across to you is to create systems that help for you in the long term to avoid these sort of situations where you're setting the wrong expectations or not setting an expectation, and just do this on a client by client basis. So as every new client signs up, think about the questions they asked during the sales process, notate the questions they asked once they joined, go to that module in your Facebook group if you're like me and that's where your coaching program resides, or go into your wherever your coaching program resides and update that Google Doc or update that module so that now anyone that joins, they have that as a touch point. And now if they had a question, they know where to go. And then they can even maybe ask more on that post or in that module, and you can update and keep that as a living document in your business. But what I really want you to be thinking about is when an individual circumstance happens to an individual client, what needs to now happen across your program with your other clients to either prevent this from happening, or that when it does happen, there's a solution and a process for them to get the answer or to actually get help from you, from your program, and to stay as happy self-servicing clients versus needy, demanding, always messaging you, taking a bunch of your time away because you haven't done these things. What my real goal with today's episode is to take the responsibility away from your clients being needy and for you creating needy clients instead. And for you to take the responsibility that if you do attract a needy client or prospect into your world, this is because of something that you did or didn't do. And it's on you as the coach to fix it, and to fix it going forward to prevent it from happening in the long run. That is today's episode. In the next episode of Client by Client, I'm going to be sharing with you why you don't need landing pages, ads, or a huge following to hit 15K a month in new coaching clients. So be sure to tune in for that one. If right now you're focused on making your website and your landing page is pretty, if you're thinking paid ads is the next thing, but you're not at 15 to 30K a month yet, or if you really feel like you have to have the biggest personal brand on the block in order to get started or to actually build a thriving coaching program. Whenever you're ready, here are 3 ways I can help you grow your online business. Access my free pipeline management tool that helps you get leads and turn them into clients in half the time. Just message me the letters CRM on Instagram or Facebook, and I'll share with you where you can go and get your free copy. That way you'll have it and you'll be able to use it in order to turn your leads into clients even faster. And if you're not using a CRM, you really need one. And right now it's free as of April 2023. So just message me the letters CRM or drop those words CRM wherever you're watching or consuming this. Second, join my free group for online coaches. I've got almost 1,000 coaches gathered in my free community where I share my best resources. I answer your questions. You get access to me, and you get to network with a lot of other coaches from around the world who are just a step ahead of you, at the exact same step as where you're at, navigating through the same problems and milestones right now, or just a baby step or 2 behind where you're at. All you have to do is message me the word or comment the word group here on Instagram or Facebook, or search Leveraged Coach on Facebook. Lastly, become my next success story. I'm looking for 3 to 5 online coaches, but I'm very specific about who I work with. So this is only for you. And what I want to do is help you get to 15K in brand new clients or double your online roster. But I'm very, very picky about who I work with and who I bring into the Get Clients program. So this is only for you if you are a relationship focused. So this is only for you if you're a relationship focused coach who puts a person ahead of the money. You've been coaching for at least 1 year. You would like to get 3 to 5 clients organically from social media without paid ads or wasting a bunch of money. You have at least 300 Facebook or Instagram friends or email subscribers or group members. You're willing to take bold action because you know that your success depends upon it. And last and most importantly, you're able to keep a secret. Then I want for you to message me the words case study on Instagram at WhatUpJeremy, and I'll share with you what we have coming up this month in the Get Clients program, how we're already helping other online coaches just like you to get these results in the program, and about what this can mean for you in your online business. Just message me or drop the word case study. That's it for today's episode, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow back with another. Thanks so much for listening to Client by Client. See you next time. Boom! What is going on? Thank you guys for the likes, the loves, and the reactions. And for those of you watching it, it means a ton. Again, drop your name and whatever platform you're tuning into this live broadcast so I can shout you out in this one or the next episode. I'm going to get on with my day now. One more episode coming tomorrow. We'll have a couple days off for the weekend. The show's now available in iTunes and in Spotify, so be sure to search my name, What Up Jeremy, or Client by Client. That way you can download these and access the first couple episodes. The editing is getting tighter, it's getting better, and I'm hoping and super hoping that this is helping you in your business and helping you to just get the clarity and the help that you need. All right, guys, that's it for me. Enjoy your Thursday. Go sell something.